Welcome to Good Give Show, episode 2. My name is Katleho and I'm with the beautiful Bontle Tshomela, aka Jade. Normally, when I start the show, I start the show with explaining what people do and stuff. But with Bontle, it's very difficult because she does everything. So I'll let her tell us who she is and what she does.
Oh
Bontle.
my god.
Firstly, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Like I've been anticipating to be here. Hey, like
You
I was
were
actually jealous. Mama little shout outs, beautiful first episode, but I was very jealous. Like first episode,
and let me tell you this, guys. She was supposed to be the first guest, but things.
Okay, second is not so bad. Runner up, but I mean I don't know
Yeah.
in second.
Yes.
But okay, by the way, disclaimer. I don't sell tomatoes, guys. This guy said I do everything. I know I'm a very wack comedian. Okay, billions, guys. I call myself billions.
Billy.
Billy.
Why? Why do you call yourself? I know you as Jade. Well, I know your real name, but a lot of people call you Jade and Billions.
Yeah, Jade Billions. And Jupiter. This is my lucky charm, by the way. Billions. So I had this thing last year, right? Where I used to introduce myself. Hi, I'm Jade. By the way, I'm a billionaire. And somebody would look at me like, you're crazy, And I think that came from me it's how do I put it? I affirm it to the universe. The more I say it, the more it registers in my mind that this is where I want to go. You get it? So it's an affirmation from me. Like, hi, I'm a billionaire. Like, even my social media platforms, it's Jade underscore billions. Yeah, I'm trying to get followers, by the way.
Yeah.
But
Billions.
It's a matter of affirmation. Billions. That's why I call myself billions. My real name is not Jade. You're right. It's Ubuntu, but hey, Jade, guys, it's a long story. It's a long story. Let's just say I went to a college school, and I had this color. Okay, he wasn't really my boyfriend. I was bullied into dating him. And he came into class and he was like, yeah, was die nuwe kind. And everybody was like,
I didn't hear that, by the way.
Yeah, I also don't think I said it right. But it's whatever, dude,
Yeah.
And everybody was like, who are you talking about? Jethro, his name was Jethro. And he's like, Jade. And I was like, Jade. And then he looked at me, and everybody was so scared of Jethro. And so I became Jade, ka force.
Oh, I repeat like gating,
When that guy, when I got to like school, right? Jethro would always be by the corridors. He had Chinese eyes, kind of very cute. He looked like an American boy or a Latino, actually. And he's like, yeah, Jade, you know your mind, right? They mustn't even look at you. And I'll be so, my mom doesn't even know. Like, so, guys, I was cornered into dating. I don't know what happened to him because 2 weeks after he disappeared. To me, man.
I thought you were going to say 2 weeks he died.
No. But I've never
alive.
seen him ever since. Yeah. Could be not.
So he gave you the name Jade.
Yeah. And then the whole school sort of like called me Jade. I mean, because so many people couldn't make up. Are you colored? Are you black? Like, where do you fall? Which racial class do
and
you
colored
fall
people
into?
are black.
Well, that's a story for another day, but
yeah, Okay, so
yeah.
what does Jade do? Linda, I'm confused. And actually, guys, we're actually friends. That's why this thing's so difficult for me to do. But it's not really difficult. It's easier because he's my friend.
It's very funny because I myself cannot answer this question. Baby girl wins Antoni. So it's gotta skip how you understand. Alright, guys, by profession, I am a business developer for an actuarial firm. Well, an actuarial and engineering firm. Study wise, I studied BCom law, but I didn't finish my studies due to financial constraints. I'm the founder of Generation X Soweto, which is an NPO. It's an after-school program aimed at enriching kids with perfect career choices, just self-developmental, whatever drug programs, teenage problems that we come across growing up in high school. I'm an activist, but I'm an activist of the mind. Let me just make it clear.
Yeah.
You understand? My whole point is liberation of the mind. You understand? And I'm an aspiring author. Hey, it's doable, guys. Yeah.
Aspiring awful.
Awful.
Awful. Yeah.
You know, I'm currently writing a book called 66 Days to Make $500,000 I know you guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but it's very possible. And I am sole owner of my own makeup company called Ubuntu. That's Yoruba, by the way. It's a Nigerian native language, and it translates to gift of beauty. And what else do I do, Katleho? And I talk a lot, and
You talk a lot. She's loving.
and I'm
she's
Jupiter's
caring.
mother, yeah.
Jupiter's
And
mother.
some people say I'm a preacher, by the way.
Yeah. That's
You
I
know.
think 2 weeks ago we had like a 2 hours conversation about spirituality. Remember?
Hey, guys.
Hey, Marathi Trinity. We are here to talk about like dire stuff.
Yeah.
You know, not to say spirituality it's not, but we are here to talk about Miss Jade.
Billions.
Billions. So what made you think that you can be an umbrella that carries so much things? Because you do this, you do that, you do a lot of people they like, okay, I'm an act, that's it.
That's it.
I mean what?
I don't want
That's
to say
it.
I'm multi-talented because every other thing that I do from my writing comes from my experiences. You know, it's something I like writing, but I just feel like I have a story to share. My life coaching, my everything. I don't want to say what makes me an umbrella. It's the experiences that I've went through. Because guys, it's very funny. Like every time I find myself in a sticky situation, turns out that sticky situation is actually a glue gluing me to something even greater. So this is how I always end up to be all of these things, be an umbrella, be and people say, "Oh, you're actually a strong woman," and I'm just like, "Hey, if only you knew," But see, number 2000 right now, we'll peel like a mask, So yeah, but I mean, I don't know, dude. Maybe it's just my experiences, that make me sort of like venture into everything else. Because like with Generation X, it was a matter of me passing the trick, but not passing it to how I wanted to pass it. Like didn't meet minimum requirements because I was going through whatever that I was going through and writing my final exams. So I stayed 6 months without going to varsity, and it's fast now, So I started Generation X Soweto.
Yeah.
That's how it came about. From there, I went to varsity. I dropped out of varsity because of financial constraints, like I said before. And then that's when I met you, when we started working at SMC, by the way. Shame on,
Yay,
yeah. And every Monday, guys, they always make us watch these motivational videos. Say those people are very driven people. And that's where I've really adopted a little bit of sense of who I am, from those Monday mornings, not getting clients, but at least listening to Dan Locke, Warren Buffet.
and
Who's that other guy?
and Rumble Run.
Not Rumble, no.
The
Not him. It's not like
Rumble Run.
And Tony Robinson, and Les Brown also. This is where I got like, okay, I can do it. Like
first time I saw you, right?
Yeah.
You were with I forgot the
girl's name.
The girl's name, but I saw you like this girl is smart, man. And I wanted to glue myself with people like that.
Yeah.
And the first time I had a conversation with you, I don't know what triggered it, but I don't know, actually I forgot.
Yeah.
Ship. But I always like study you from far and be like, okay, this guy is like this.
Katleho.
I'm a sapiosexual. I'm attracted by people's minds.
You're what now?
Sapiosexual.
Sapiosexual.
Yes.
Hey, you learn everything. Hey.
So yeah, something like that. I'm like, I want to learn from her, and guess what? I am, and I feel like with what you started, Positive Minds.
Yes, right? Positive Minds.
Positive. You kind of putting kids into not doing mistakes that we did. So what was your goal with Positive Minds? And please tell us.
Well, Positive Minds is a Telegram channel right now, and it's only been like 3 weeks old, So I woke up one day and I realized, okay, these have been my achievements thus far, and I don't want to achieve alone. So let me recruit on Twitter 10 people that I can mentor, maybe share my experiences, my knowledge that I picked up, So I started a Telegram channel, And as I was looking for 10 people, I actually had 15 people, right? I know it's not 15,000, but 15. You start somewhere, you know. And for me, positive mind is about being in the right headspace. You understand? Positive mind for me is believing in yourself, believing in yourself as a creation of God, you know. And we were having a Zoom session last week, you know, our first meeting, and we were speaking about creation. I actually told them that there are actually 5 elements of creation for me, you know, and in no order, this would be love, because when you're about to create something, you need to make sure that you're in love with it. You get what I'm saying? Courage. You need to have the bravery.
Courage.
To create something, you know.
And then the third one?
Perception. How you perceive what you're about to create.
Sure.
You know, believe was my 4, you know. And 5 was to actually start. Like I said, they were in no order, but for me, I feel like you actually need these 5 elements, you know. And for me, positive minds, like my book, you know, it's not a religious book, guys, by the way, but you will find bits and pieces of the Quran, the Bible in there.
Muslim thing.
Yeah. A lot of people ask me this, like, are you Christian? Are you Muslim? And I'm just like, I'm a child of God.
Sure, that's the best answer.
I'm a child of God. You know, for me, it doesn't really matter which religious class or identification you take, but as long as it does goodwill. This is what I was telling them, you know. So for me, positive mind is making sure that you're in the right headspace. Excuse me.
Oh, it's your positive mind.
I'm having a moment, guys. You know, and I just want people to understand that when God created heaven and earth, when He created the universe, you know, when He created man, He said that man will lead my kingdom on earth. You understand?
And by man meaning female and
man, yes, human beings. You understand? And you've been given that power by God Himself. You get what I'm saying? You've been given that power. So what stops you from ruling your own little kingdom? You as Katleho, you're your own kingdom. And then it goes again later in the Bible and it says to you, you were made in the image of God. Not that we look like God, and nobody can be fine as God though. You know? And it says that you were created in His image, meaning you're not God, but you possess almost the same abilities as God. So my objective as positive minds, I know some people say, yeah, religion is in the mind, everything is in the mind. I just want to make sure that you're in the right headspace so that you find that little bit of confidence, that sometimes people just need someone to say, do it. You know?
So I have a question, right? So you have obviously a goal for these 15 kids, right? And they have a definition. They have for themselves, they do have a definition of success.
By the way, sorry, they're not kids, guys. Very funny. I was looking for kids. No, I was looking for kids, right? And I found people who were students. One guy's even a qualified engineer.
Really?
And he's based not even in South Africa, in Nigeria. And he fully participates, you know. So yeah, kids is a beautiful part of my members. You can go ahead.
So it's different people, different backgrounds.
Different people.
So how do you make sure that this one gets what he wants mentally, this one gets what they want spiritually, and as well as how do you center yourself as Jade? You know, who takes care of you while you're taking care of them?
You take care of me. Let me answer that one first. You know, so I'm not a cocaine addict. My cocaine is a phone call. I'm so addicted to talking, guys. Good or bad. Whenever I have a meltdown, I need to call someone. I need to talk. So you one of my cocaines. You're my crystal man. Sounds sexy, right?
Cocaine. I'm addicted.
You know, and that's who takes care of me, other people. That's what Ubuntu says, right? So how do I help them as individuals? Well, our first exercise, we wrote down our own personal goals and personal complications. You know, and that's how, for me, that's how I got to get a sense of who they are, their background, and what they are trying to aspire, and what are the challenges that they're facing. As you know, and I realized that we might think that we love ourselves as people, but we really don't love ourselves. And this
Sure.
is where the problem starts, because the moment you don't love yourself, whether you realize it or not, you're always going to doubt yourself. You're always going to have fear, of the unknown. It is okay to have fear, guys. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But what makes us different from the next person is overlooking that fear and doing it, like I said, doing it. I was still saying to you the other day that self love is the love of the creator himself. If you love his creation, you definitely love God. God is love. You understand?
Yeah, God is love.
God is love. So the moment you put yourself and you position yourself that I love myself as Katleho, I love myself as Vincent, I love myself as Jade, hey man, you're gone.
Sure. But loving yourself, as I don't know if it's a black people thing, but we are taught not to. We are nurtured not to. We are always they say, cancel all, take care of this, take care of that, respect this, respect that. There's never, even if you go to school, there's never look within. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like we're always told itate kamontle by making sure uskoni wenzing. But the love that I'm talking about is your self-awareness, being aware of your feelings, being aware of your thoughts, being aware of your dreams, being aware of your problems, your complications. And yes, as a black society, this is why I'm saying that I'm the liberator of the mind. I'm an activist for the mind. It is time for us to unlearn things that were taught to us as a black nation. I think for me personally, this is what colonization took from us. I mean, you hear a person say, I would have made it in life, because it's so easy. They grow up with them knowing from a young age that they're the best and they can acquire one, two, three, four. It's really, yes, I get we have challenges like financial challenges as a black person more than a white person, you understand? But that's a whole political shebang bang that I'm not trying to get into right now, so I also only learned to love myself at this big, big age of mine.
Yeah. I also learned later on.
I only learned now at this. Did I mention that I'm 22 years old? At this big, 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 big age.
Yeah.
I can't wait for my Jordan year, guys. I'm 2023. Jordan year.
Jordan year.
Know.
So here's this thing. You said something, unlearning. Unlearning for me, I think it's the most difficult thing. Here's why. Some of the things you are taught by people you trust, people who raised you, and unlearning that, you're like, oh my God, this I was taught by my mom. This I was taught by my spiritual leader. This I was taught. So how do you make sure?
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
How do I make sure? Sorry.
No,
guys, I talk too much, right? No, I want your whole question. How do I make sure?
How do you make sure that you still come back and respect those people and not have them in a way or no some mommy or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like my parents, if they were here, they would testify that Lomtana agamameli. Lomtana agamameli. I don't know if it ever comes as disrespect to them. Like last year, for example, I had to go to Tunisia, but I mean, I dropped out of
school. And I was so excited for you when you called me.
Yeah, I didn't go to Tunisia, guys. I didn't feel like it was for me.
Why?
I don't know. I believed in something else, I believed in where I was at that moment. And trust me, if I didn't believe where I was at that moment, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be a business developer for that actual firm. I wouldn't have established my company. I wouldn't be writing 66 days to make $500,000 rand. Which you're part of. By the way, he wrote my forward. Shout out. And I would have just been a girl who went to Tunisia, went to go teach English, made my, I don't know, $400 maybe a month.
$400 is like
maybe 4 point something to 5,000 rand a month, and maybe gotten a scholarship to study abroad because it was like a whole program enrichment also for you as you're going to teach people. Sorry guys, I have to brush Africa. It's very precious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so to answer your question, I went against my parents. They're the ones who came with this Tunisia idea. On a Thursday, my flight was boarding on a Sunday. You're my parents, but you don't take the final decision for me. This is what I was saying in my Telegram group, that I'm not saying you people should disregard your guardian or your parent or whatever. But nobody knows what truly is inside of you, what you want as Katleho. I don't care about the noise your pastor is making that, hey, Katleho, like that, you get to say five feet. Receive, and if it doesn't feel right for you guys, there is a reason why each and every one of us are different. There's a reason why we all have our own fingerprints. We are unique in a way. There's a reason why God chose us not to be an end, so be something, to have a own self purpose. You understand? So if you're not going to listen to yourself at the end of the day, yes, it's okay to listen to other people. You cannot be an ignorant hard head and not take advice. You understand? But do not. I hope you guys are paying attention right now. Do not sacrifice or compromise yourself, your happiness, what you want inside of you for anyone else's opinion or idea of what your life is. Because you are going to be so depressed. Like I said, I was studying towards a law degree. I'm still going to finish it because maybe I just want that flex that, girly advocate, But I found my mojo. I've actually established that I want to be a speaker. I just want to travel the world and speak. I don't know if I'm making sense. I don't care if I'm making sense, but it makes me happy.
She found her mojo. And even if you twist the word, it's Tshomela. It still makes sense. You know that mojo is Tshomela.
I'm trying to think, do I have a Tshomela?
I should write. I should be an author too. Wait, thinking.
Those motivational speakers, but life is like a spoon.
There's one important thing you said, which is starting. And I had a personal problem with starting. I still have sometimes. How easy or how difficult is starting?
Goosebumps a lot, dude. Like goosebumps. Yeah, guys, starting is difficult. This is why my chats are start, because I know procrastination comes. Me too. And you actually inherit procrastination. Even if your parents can shout in you and say, man, I don't care, any psychologist can come and tell me, but procrastination is something that you inherit also. And for me, I'm really getting goosebumps about starting. For me, I'd say to make it easier, to make your starting easier, start by reading one page if you're trying to read a whole book. If you're trying to work out, lose weight, start by doing one push-up.
Like literally.
Yeah, one.
Okay.
Start by recording one podcast. Will Smith once said that you cannot say that you're going to build the greatest wall ever. I'm not saying it as he did, but this was the idea around what he was saying. Start by saying you're going to lay one brick at a time. And guess what? Once you're done, you have your great wall. You know why? Because I think my brother said something very eye-opening to me, because he asked me also, why do you call yourself Billions? Then I told him, affirmation and whatnot, and he went to go also change his social media handles as Hello Billions, and then he changed it again and said, now I'm Hello Millions, and I'm like, why? And he said to me, because I have to be a millionaire first before I become a billionaire.
Wow.
And it hit me, and I go,
we're not only billion.
But also at the same time, as much as I'm saying start one by one, you understand, at the same time you set your dreams so high that when you fall, you don't fall too far from it. Don't dream about having a Toyota Corolla as your end goal. There's nothing wrong with it. Some people like it, but if you're like me, dream of a proper speedboat. So when you fall, it is called Shemo G-Wagon. So it also puts that much pressure on you, and there's nothing wrong with pressure also. The only problem with pressure is how you perceive your pressure. Is it pressure that drives you, or is it pressure that kills you? Because diamonds become diamonds in pressure. At the same time, too much pressure can kill you. It's like the same boiling water that hardens the egg is the same boiling water that softens the potato. So what are you doing with your pressure?
Guys, we're done here. We're done here. Yo, you have so much knowledge. Yeah?
I think it's talking.
Yeah.
Talking. You
Mm.
know, you go around talking. I see this, and I'm a very observant person. I used to, growing up, these because I always talk and I was always like asking questions. You know, okay, but Papa, what is this? You know, and shout out to my dad, yo. He answered every other question.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, as I he used to, he used to say, oh, the other day I was in a cab and we were passing by and there was a hunter
with your dad?
with my dad when I was young.
Okay.
So when I was like maybe 3 years maybe. And there was a billboard, a hunter's cry, you know, in a taxi. Yeah, at Orange Farm Taxi Rank, actually, they used to call me Mandava or something like that because cool, you know. And we passed this billboard, and I said, Papa, nah, you hunter's cry, loipuzayo. And everybody in the taxi turned. You know, my mom used to, I used to be a very outspoken child. Now I'm very shy to speak like my fullest mind. Like, especially if somebody is like really getting into my nerves. You know, I don't speak as much as I'm speaking now when empowering. But until that day, I just said, yo, mama, pegalo baba mubi ganjan. Why am mubi so, mama?
You
know,
said that.
yeah. You know, and my parents always say that we've always had a hard time with you, but the beautiful part about it is that you were a curious mind. Or whatnot, you've just been a curious child. You know, I had a very tough childhood because I was always bullied by my peers because of what I am, because of I'm unspoken. Even in high school, up until varsity, up until at work, people did not like me. Yeah, who had a problem with me at Sherman's? You know,
everyone.
You know, but that's also just because I thought there was something wrong with me, but there's nothing wrong with you, honey. There's not. There's just something right that you're doing that people envy it. You know, the intimidation of you. I mean, once you're at your most purest, once you're your most beautiful, you know, not beautiful like these lashes that I have on, you know, right now. Nobody can do that, honey. You know, but once you realize your beauty, once you realize that, listen, this is just me. You know what set Moses aside? Different Moses from the Bible. Okay. Moses, when he saw that bush burn, he wasn't the only one that saw that bush burn. Everyone who was passing by saw that bush burn. That is my philosophy. That is what I took from it. You understand? But he was the one who took time to figure out, why is this bush burning? What does this mean for me, Gile Moshe, as Moses? You know, and he found his purpose. That's how to become from someone who was found in a river by a princess of Egypt, you know, to being someone who led the people of Israel out of Egypt to the promised land that God had promised them. You know, he had a greater calling only because listen, there's so many signs around us. The only problem is that we choose to ignore.
I don't know if it's you that told me this, but there's someone who said, I think it's you. You said intuition only speaks once. Isn't it you?
No, it wasn't me who said intuition only speaks once, but I'm glad that
this part.
no, it's fine. It wasn't me, you know. Yeah. But I'm glad somebody said that, and that person was damn right.
Because intuition, he said, I don't know. Said that intuition only speaks once, and then comes your mind saying, no, that's not right, blah blah blah.
Well, that's not how it is. You're probably just overthinking things.
So here's a question I want to ask you before we close. What do we need to do today to have a future that is on our side? I'm not sure if
I think I'm getting what you're trying to say. Obviously, guys, I don't have the perfect recipe on how to be successful or how to be master of the mind. I have my days where I'm crap. And I'm actually on psychiatric medication, by the way, just for mood stabilizing and anxiety because I panic so much. You know, I have a big fear of failure. Also me.
You know, wait for that. Having a big fear for failure.
I don't know. Maybe I have a borderline personality disorder. I don't know. But which I'm not proud of. But my takeaway from it, how do you ensure it? It's just by base believing in yourself. Never mind the noise. Never mind, like I said, your mother. Never mind your father, your boyfriend, your preacher, your friend. Never mind you, Katleho. The day you told me that Jade, no, this one, if I feel like it's for me, then it's for me. If it doesn't work and it burns, then you're my friend. I have to come back and cry to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the good thing is that even if after I fail, when I start again, please now I'm not starting again from not knowing anything. I'm starting again from experience.
Now you rectify.
Now you rectify. You know, because now I've seen. Get that lunch.
And you have the positive mind.
Exactly. And that's where the positive mind comes in. When you're in the right headspace. I mean, you're a spirit and you're a physical being. Balance the two. You get what I'm saying? Balance the two.
There's this song by Common. Who is this woman she features? So this woman says in the song, God made women and men for the balance of it.
Yeah, that's why they were saying that this is why woman was made from man's rib. You understand? For the balance. And when you look at it, the rib protects all vital organs of the body. Your lungs, your heart. Once there's a small puncture on those organs, what happens to you? You die. You know? You die. I always say to people, like even God sometimes, if you feel like, okay, God, but this is not working the way I want it, be like Jacob, fight God. I have my days, me and God. Yeah. We have a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I just sit down and I'm like, nigga, what do you want me to do now?
And yes, people always have this thing about God that when you pray or communicate with him, you always like asking things. Yeah, asking this, you know. Sometimes it's just like, you know what, I'm frustrated. Things are not going my way. Why? And then you quoting and you said this.
When my relationship was going downwards, right? I said to God, okay, you gave me this person. Why are you giving me a problem?
What relationship?
My romantic relationship.
Oh. Safika kunyanyana. Now okay.
Shut up. Yeah.
Yeah, continue.
Yeah, you know. And I said, but you gave me this problem. And I've tried, God. Lord knows how much I tried. Why should I suffer? Let's suffer both. It's your problem. It's your human being also. Come on, fix it. You know, but also, another thing, God also wants gratitude. Should be a person of gratitude, also for your own benefit, you know. I was telling people in my Telegram channel that, okay, let's try this thing, because I read this on The Secret, by the way. Just try every time you go to the bathroom, before you brush your teeth in the morning when you wake up, just say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, until you reach your bathroom and actually brush your teeth. Because now you're just thankful that you're alive, you're just thankful that you went to the bathroom to brush your
thank
teeth.
You.
One more, wherever you brush your wherever, guys, there's nothing wrong. Don't mind this one, you know. Yeah. But the main thing about it is your gratitude. How will God trust you, or how will the universe trust you with bigger things if you don't appreciate the small things that you have right now? If you don't appreciate that idea, how would it change into actual something?
So I see you coming up.
You guys, yes,
It's gift of beauty.
Yeah.
The new venture of
me.
Yeah.
Guys, business is slow. Please do support, guys, on my social media platforms, Jade_Brilliance, you know, and Ubuntu Ewa. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it properly. Please don't hit me, Nigeria. Much love. Much love.
Yeah, so you're selling beauty products.
Yeah, and I aspire to make my own soon. Very soon. You know, when I put my mind into something, guys, I really do it, you know. And for me, why gift of beauty? You know, it would be, there's just so much chat around women wearing makeup, especially by the opposite gender. Our men are supposed to protect us, not shame us, you know. And for me, putting on makeup is that boost of confidence. I'm not saying don't be confident in your true self. You understand? But there's nothing wrong with me painting my lips red if it makes me feel good before it makes you feel any other type of way. Because this ain't about you. I almost cursed. You know, do you guys have those things?
Vincent is the greatest.
You know,
He knows how to do that.
But I mean, before you feel any shit of a way about the way you want to feel about me and my red lipstick, it's about how I feel at that time. You understand? So that's just the objective that I'm trying to take out and try and also like break what beauty has been told to us to be. You understand? By certain standards of society. You get what I'm saying? Like the day I have fully launched my brand, for me, my brand ambassadors would be people with burnt marks, people with disabilities, survivors of cancer who underwent chemotherapy, you know, people with certain physical disorders. You get what I'm saying? And your average normal slay queen woman, whatever you want to call them, you know, just to overshow that there is beauty so much more. Because even with men, guys, as much as you say you be a fake, we wear fake hair, that first thing, that's none of your business. They ain't none of your business. Understand? And secondly, people put on herbs. You're not born with herbs. No baby was born with nama biceps, nama no way, nama tattoo. No way. You were born chubby with the dead. And today you're all grown, you want to come and belittle another woman. You understand? Because they decided to color their face, whatever color that they wanted to put. So for me, Ubuntu Ewa is just about celebrating that little confidence in you.
And you showing people that beauty is defined in different ways.
In different ways. It's in the eye of the beholder.
I love that. Love that.
So that's Ubuntu Ewa for me. That's my whole projective. And you know, it's more of a social cause more than a business that generates profit. Yes, profit is nice, guys. At the end of the day, we're all trying to get G wagons.
Yeah.
But
and by the way, we'll come back to it. There's a way you communicate with your God.
Yes.
I know. I have to. I have to.
Trying to expose me. This nigga's trying to expose me.
We can look at the window and then you say, how did you know that, you know, God is answering or is looking at me?
Or he heard me when I was praying or anything. Like I said, guys, it's all about your belief. Hey, what you want to happen, guys. You instruct God as much as you obey Him. You instruct Him also. You know, and I've known. Like this is funny thing has happened every time I pray about something or I have this deep conversation with God. Understand where I'm crying and just when I'm done. Few moments later, if I look outside my window, if I'm outside, guess what pops out? A G wagon. I'm not lying, guys. This happens. He knows. I was screaming. Guess what I saw? You know, a G wagon. You know, and someone said to me, this person is a prophet. I confide in him a lot. You know, and he said to me, you know that when you see something so much, you're not gonna get it. You're not meant to have a G wagon. And I said, if God, that's what God told you, and Deputy Jesus, tell Deputy Jesus who happens to me, my father also, and God also forgave it. Kadiwashin. Because you cannot put that idea in my head and then deprive it from me. You understand? That's what I always say. Abo Bill Gates, abo who's this guy? Joe Biden, abo Amazon, you understand? Abo Mark Zuckerberg, Mark Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know, those people understood communicating with God. They understood their minds. You know why? Because it did not stop as an idea. They understood, okay, I have this stupid idea. Who created the light bulb? Was it Albert? Like I said, guys,
I know it's a black person.
Yeah, okay.
The real story, it's a black person.
Controversy and conspiracy. Like I don't know that, but even him, you understand? It was a thing of listening to God and putting whatever that your spirit just said to you. I mean, because you feel this within more than anything else. You know, like my vision, my ideas, I feel them within. My spirit communicates with me before I can say them out. So that's the only thing that separates us from these multi-billionaires. Not that there's nothing special about you or Bagloyi. No one is bewitching you. There might be people that are bewitching you. You understand? But no one at this day and age in 2020 has the time to actually be bewitching you for you not to understand yourself. It starts with you recognizing yourself, seeing, okay, Bontle, Jade, where is it that I'm from? Which doesn't determine where am I going, but it's very important to know your origin. You get that?
Wow.
For me, also Ubuntu Ewa, just touching back on that, you know, I had a problem with my gap teeth. I don't want to show it growing up because I was bullied. I was the odd one out, the only person with a gap in the class. Let's say, where's the girl with the gap? That's not nice. but I learned to fall in love with it because this is what makes me unique. This is what singles me out from everyone else. And I like to also go back and console myself back to scripture and say, oh, well, people don't like me because I'm different, but that's okay. Jesus Christ was not accepted by everybody. Joseph himself was sold into slavery by his own brothers because he believed in himself. And I had a dream about your grass being higher than your brothers, and people feel intimidated by that. You understand? David himself, when he went to go fight Goliath, I always say, I think we were speaking about this on the phone the other day, that it was not for me, guys, for me again. I stand corrected. For me again, it was more than him picking up a stone and hitting Goliath, a big giant with just a stone. It was the courage and the belief that he had in himself to execute that move that actually killed Goliath. When Meshach and Abednego and the other guy, which I'm forgetting in the book of Daniel, when they walked in that burning furnace, they knew what they trusted. You understand? So this is why I'm saying that for me, more than anything, what colonization did for us was take away self-belief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not anything else.
Not anything else.
But self-belief.
Apparently, older people from Africa used to communicate with their minds. So if you want to talk to me and you're in Katleho and I'm here, you just go with some supersonic power, like then Milandawe combos are communicating, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi hotspot, and people used to fly, you understand? But people are not that spiritual anymore, not because God has ran away or anything, but we are so fixated in people's opinion of us.
They took something away from us.
But now it's not time again to dwell on what happened, but the time is, I really just want to get into a mental level. I'm not saying be intelligent, be the smartest person ever, but I damn sure want to make sure when I walk into a room as well, my presence is felt. And this is what I always teach other young kids, you understand, or whoever who I'm mentoring at that time, that you yourself, there ain't nobody like you. Make sure you claim your throat. Even if you're selling tomatoes, ain't nobody like you, no matter how many people sell tomatoes.
You might share a name with someone, but that doesn't mean anything.
Date of birth, that don't mean nothing.
Sure.
If you were meant to be uniform, why are there so many people in the world? God could have just made 5 people bafanayo.
There was this thing I was reading. They said the reason why uniforms were implemented is to make us as black people feel less, and not acknowledge that we're different. Do you understand how deep that is? If we wear uniforms and like, okay, if I feel any different, that should make me feel like no, I should be like them, I should be like this, I should be like that. So you as Jade, billions, how do you make sure your food always is on the right that's a question and a half.
Yeah, it is, because I come across challenges, guys. I'm not perfect also. I stumble, I make a lot of mistakes, I take a lot of bad decisions because I feel like I'm a no-risk person. If it feels right, like this is what I've been preaching, if it feels right, do it. I do it and I get burnt. Because sometimes I don't sit down and evaluate the situation at hand.
You just do it instantly.
Ngena, pagati.
That takes
yeah, real courage. Stupidity also.
Yeah, which is the 4th one on the elements.
Yeah, somewhere there. But how do I keep going? My vision. My vision as Kifalme's mother. I don't have a child.
Who's that now?
Kifalme is my future child. My vision as Jupiter's mother. What is it that I want to teach my kids? The empire that I'm building.
Jupiter.
Yeah, Jupiter. So this one just consoles me that Jupiter will be here one day.
Yeah.
And the thought of me breaking generational curses, the thought of me standing out is what really keeps me going and keeps me on my feet. Because I've learned to know that I'm no ordinary being. The world wants me to be normal. And I'm not normal. Not them.
And normal by their terms.
Normal by their terms, what they think is normal. So people might think I'm full of myself, but I'm really just trying to get my things in order. That's how I keep in balance, because I know somehow that my name will be written in billboards somewhere, in books that I never imagined, that I'll walk into boardrooms that I never thought that I'll walk into. Why? Simply because I know my own purpose. Or I'm still finding, I might not know the full one, but I understand that there's only one Bontle Tshomela, one Jade Billions, one Lenyora, one whatever people call me.
So before we close, I want you to do something you've never done. Yeah, I don't have a phone with me, but I want you like to call your 12-year-old and talk to your 12-year-old. What would you say?
Let me hold my phone because
Yeah.
it's right close, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, am I speaking to Bontle? Oh, this is 16-year-old Bontle. Give 12-year-old Bontle the phone. Oh, hi, baby Bontle. I know you're in grade 6 in Mr. Wakanda's class. Yeah, I think his surname was Wakanda. Listen, there's a paper going around with people gossiping about you in class. I know that is going to break you, but listen, I was 12 at then. I'm 22 now. 10 years later on, baby girl, you are fantastic. You've made history. So do not let anybody tell you how much of whatever they think you are, because you've got this shit on lock. Okay? Keep strong. I love you so much.
That's how we close it. Thank you.
Can I get a hug?
Jade, everybody. Until next time.
Until next time, guys.
So that was the Good Gift Show episode 2. It was amazing, guys. Please comment what do you think about the show and ask questions. But follow her on Instagram. It's Jade_billions and Twitter as well. And if you want to know more about investments and positive minds, please you can DM her.
Oh, if you want to support my business, guys.
And if you want to support her business, Aduela.
Ubuntu Ewa.
Ubuntu
Wow.
Ewa. Follow her. And this is the Good Gift Show episode 2. Thank you.
Say bye, Juppie. Bring my child.